Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here with Conor Benn in, well, not so sunny Las Vegas just now, but we're here in Las Vegas. You're here to support your gym mate, Martin Ward. Before we talk about yourself, how's Martin looking?
Oh, he looks unbelievable, mate. Like, I think it's the best I've ever seen him look, that's for sure. I mean, he's ripped to shreds. He's focused. I mean, we're out here in Sin City, and he's got nothing else on his mind apart from going in there and claiming what's his. Rightfully his. I mean, he's done everything from the amateurs to when you talk about someone who's really sacrificed their life for a sport. You look at Martin Ward's career. So he's here to claim what's his, and he ain't gonna let anything get in his way of getting that. And he's gonna bring it home.
Tough opponent. I was speaking to Tony Sims about his opponent, the South African. I think he's 13-1 or something like that, but he lost his last fight, but he was winning the fight until he got knocked out. It stopped it. But this no easy task out here in Vegas for Martin, is it?
It's never an easy task when you're fighting at the level he's fighting at. But Tony trains us hard enough to come through trenches, to come through it. Everything we do from the training is brutal, it's grueling, it's harsh, it's old school, it's horrible. And that's what Tony prepares us for. So if there's sticky moments in the fight, that shadow in my mind that Tony Wardy will come through there. There's no doubt in my brain, because Tony trains us so hard. Military, it's like training in the army with Tony. The weak don't survive there. It ain't for the faint-hearted, that gym. And if you can't do it, then you're out. And that's what it's like. And we're all viable for each other. We're all fighting men.
Well, you talking about fighting men, I know you're a fighting man, you come from a fighting family yourself. Obviously everyone knows who your dad is and stuff like that, but for you Conor, you're coming off an absolutely tremendous run of form here for Miller, done Samuel Vargas and Leston around. We spoke a little bit off camera there as we were coming down to do this interview. I know you're fighting on July 31st, but what kind of opponent are you hoping for this time round? I'm sure you're wanting somebody that's going to take you the further rounds, maybe check your chin a little bit and do all these, make a tougher opponent for yourself.
Yeah, listen, Vargas was supposed to be that guy. Formella presented his struggles, Vargas was supposed to present theirs, and I come through it. Each fight's a test, and I'm passing with flying colours. So, we'll work on something in the camp, and then we'll have an exam at the end of it. I'll study for 12 weeks, and then we'll have an exam at the end of it. And that's the way I look at it. So, and then I've got to implement what I've just been taught. And once you have that sort of mindset in your head, you think, okay, I'm going to pass this exam, which is mad because in school, passing exams was not a priority for me. School science.
Maturity there a bit, Conor?
No, I still don't think I could see it in school now as it happens. But yeah, so top 15. I even want someone top 15 globally, or someone who's experienced, the Robert Guerreros, the Victor Ortizes, names out here, big names, fighters. I get excited talking about these names because these are fighters that I watched, fighters that I looked up to, and fighters that I want to share the ring with. When I talk about these fighters, I don't just think, oh yeah, beating them. When you beat them, you gain their ring knowledge, you gain their experience, you gain ring craft. You learn. You're always learning. And when you're in there, you see how they shape up, the build-ups. If anyone knows how to now deal with a build-up, I've got that off to a T. I know how to cope with that. Most fighters don't. When I fought here in New York, that put me in good stead for fighting back over here. So it's all learning, and yeah, Victor Ortiz, Robert Guerrero. Who else is there?
I know your dad mentioned Shawn Porter as well, but is that maybe a step too far at this stage in your career? Somebody like Shawn Porter, I mean, he is still a quality operator, and this talks about him fighting Terence Crawford, but they can't make the deal done and stuff like that. But is that a step too far at this moment in your career?
I definitely don't think it's a step too far. At the end of the day, people may go, "Oh, you're delusional," or "Oh, you're this," or "Oh, you're that." At the end of the day, I know what I can do. And I don't need someone else telling me what I can and what I can't do. I believe in myself and I back myself. I'm my number one fan. Do you know what I mean? So people, and do you know what? I see people now going, oh yeah, he's arrogant, he's cocky, he's ignorant, or he's too aggressive. But at the end of the day, imagine you as a normal person, as a normal human being, which I am, I'm not some figure, I have emotions, I have feelings. Imagine being told, or seeing quite often, oh, you're this, you're that, or you're this, you're that. You know what, at the end of the day, I'm going to be what I am. Because I'm securing myself, I'm securing the people around me. I don't need, if you don't, imagine living a life where you got to do everything to please someone else. Imagine that, being in that sort of frame of mind where you got to try and convince people that you are a certain way because you want them to like you. At the end of the day, if you don't like me, you don't like me. I ain't going to lose no sleep over it. But you know, early on in my career, that was the thing that affected me, which is why it's made me as hard as I am now. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I weren't this person ages ago. People go, oh yeah, why are you so aggressive now? Well, that's why. That's why I weren't always like this.
You made me.
Yeah, you made me. I weren't always like this. Do you know what I mean? So, I'm on an emotional one, and I don't know why I'm on an emotional one because I ain't seen no negative comments out, but it just gets on my nerves. Yeah. It comes in my head because it was hard for me to deal with all that. And now...
I think that, as you went on, like, I think it was the sort of, like, you tried to... I don't know what it was in your earliest part of your career. You did get that some negative press and stuff like that, and you maybe have took that to heart, but now you've sort of embraced it a little bit more, and people have like, you know what? He's embracing it. He doesn't take it to heart, and he's just going with the flow, sort of thing. And you do appeal to a lot of fans because the Spanish thing with Samuel Vargas, people took a step back and like, shit, Conor Benn can speak Spanish. Yeah. We didn't know, so you're adding little bits to your character now that we didn't know.
I think people just, as my career goes on, you're bound to see more about me. And it's hard because people only can gauge me off an interview based on how I'm feeling. I mean, one day I might feel leery. Yeah, one day I might feel like that because maybe I've just bought a brand new car and I'm feeling like, I'm feeling in the don, or I just bought a new kettle and I'm like, hey, do you know what I mean? Or then some days I'm having a bad day and I'm thinking, yeah, just see these comments, I'm in a bad mood. But then whatever mood I'm in, people just can only take me off what they see. So it does get a little bit frustrating at times, but I mean, I've gone way completely off topic here.
I don't even know what my question was.
Neither do I, but I think it was...
The Shawn Porter thing?
That's Shawn Porter. Yeah. Let's run it back. Run it back. Shawn Porter. Come on, Connor. Concentrate. Shawn Porter. As I said, I'm confident in my ability. I know what I can do. People said I wouldn't make it past Southern Area English. People saying I wouldn't. That was why I was emotional because that was where I was going with it. Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah. So and then it was like, well, yeah. Now what? People were saying Shawn Porter's this. He ain't nothing special. He ain't nothing special to me. Is he relentless? Yeah, he's relentless. He brings the heat. Oh, so am I. That's it, exactly. So am I. Do you know what I mean? So. But he would need obviously a longer camp, and it wouldn't be on a fight camp show. Do you know what I mean? So I'd happily come here and fight him.
I'm glad you said that because I was going to say, you mentioned Robert Guerrero and Victor Ortiz. Now they're based around here. They're based in Las Vegas or LA. Is this a dream of yours to come out here? It might be a dumb question because there's a lot of fighters' dream to come out here and fight in Vegas, but is this something that you would like to fulfill before you end your career? Is come out here and fight a big name like you mentioned, the Guerreros, the Porters and stuff like that out here in Vegas?
Well, Guerreros and Victor Ortiz and fighters like that, they're not... they're like now fighters. They could potentially be my next fight. I'd like to fight a Virgil Ortiz, a Jaron Ennis, a Rashid Ellis. Who is there else in the 147 coming up over here?
You mentioned Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah, you've got Virgil Ortiz, Jaron Ennis, Rashid Ellis, who's flying the Bayesian flag as well. So, he's one of my fellow people. But those are the sort of names. Obviously, I'm sparring with Ugas. On Thursday. So these are, you test the waters. But I think those are the fights that I'd love to come over here and fight. They will be the top dogs in the division once the new crop comes in.
Well, the welterweight division has always been the stacked division. It's always been the division where there seems to be the deeper pool of talent in the 147. So, like you mentioned yourself there, you mentioned Virgil Ortiz and Ennis and all these guys coming through. The next crop coming through is going to, because we know Crawford's older, Shawn Porter's older, Floyd's left, Manny Pacquiao, Spence are fighting and stuff like that. I'll get your thoughts on that. But Manny is obviously older. I mean, that's going to be an exciting time for you because the World 147 division is stacked with talent. It's a deep pool of talent, so there isn't going to be a shortage of names when you start banging on that world level and elite level.
Well, you're talking now, you've just mentioned all the Yanks names. For us, you got the McKinson, you got Crocker.
Lewis Crocker from Belfast, yeah.
Lewis Crocker, he looks like a good fighter. I wished him luck on his last fight with that Denzel, where he looked great. It was an hard fight. There was some tricky moments in that stage, and where I thought Crocker was going to go over, and you know he done well to come through. So you know I get excited watching. Well, I know he's from Belfast, but at the end of the day, you still go, yeah. Well, he's one of ours. I'd still go, yeah. I'll take that. He's one of ours. You got McKinson, obviously Congo coming off a loss. So yeah, you got McKinson, Kelly.
Josh Kelly, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know what he's doing.
I think he might move up. I think Eddie's mentioned that as well. 154 is probably where he'll probably end up.
Yeah, I still see him calling my name, so I'm a bit confused. At the end of the day, I would fight him at a catchweight, 100%. But yeah, so yeah, you got the McKinsons, Lewis Crocker, Congo, Kelly. Those are the four that stick out for me anyway. Right now, who else is there? I mean, there must be more.
There must be more. I'm gonna go on BoxRec. Let me see if I can find it quick.
So those four stick out for me. In terms of when we're talking with the US's, I'd say those are the top four British. So.
Kell Brook, Chris Jenkins.
Nah.
Usman, Liam Taylor, Tyrone Nurse. Is he?
Nah. See, none of them names are like.
Samuel Attree, guys.
Nah, they don't do it for me. I think the Lewis Crocker, McKinson, Congo, Kelly. You know, we're the Virgil Ortiz, the Jaron Ennis, the Rashid Ellis, the so and so of Britain. So yeah, hopefully we all can come over him and bring the titles back home like Kell Brook did. Like,
Kell Brook's still there.
Yeah, but I speak with Kell. I know Kell. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it's annoying that he's above me in the rankings because it's like, Kell, come on, man, what are you doing, bruv? Like, just.
Because you are sitting number 2, are you not?
Yeah, I'm sitting number 2. So, like, what are you doing, bruv? Like, what's happening here? Because I'm tired of being looking at number 2. So, but I know Kell. No, I was a fan of his and got some good working with him.
Well, I heard you mention Amir Khan there. Now, that was talked about after your last fight against Samuel Vargas and stuff like that. Is that a fight that is likely to happen? Can it happen and will it happen? I mean, have you had talks with Eddie Hearn? Have you had talks with Amir Khan? What's going on with that?
Amir Khan's manager or whatever messaged Eddie straight away after the fight. But he ain't got a pair on him. Do you know what I mean? When you're looking at Haney, Linares, that transition, Conor Benn, Khan, that transition, Linares has a pair. That's the difference. Do you know what I mean? And he's going, oh yeah, the fight don't make sense. Well, go stick to fighting super feathers in Dubai or wherever you fought. Do you know what I mean? So if you wanna find out how to talk your way out of a fight, look at Amir Khan. Do you know what I mean? So don't go, oh, it don't make no sense. When I've just banged out the geezer in one round who you had life and death with, and then the fight before that, fighting Phil LaGreco, and then the fight before that, fighting Billy Dibb, who I know, good fighter, but super feather. I mean, come on, mate, don't be silly. Do you know what I mean? So don't be talking all that rubbish of, oh, yeah, it don't make sense. It don't make sense for you, because you get banged out, and no matter how much dough it is, you ain't gonna make up for it.
Well, I guess that fight's out of the water then.
Oh yeah, I mean he's put out of the water. It's got to be for a world title. How was it when he fought Barrera? The same age gap between them is the same age gap between me and Khan. So, he don't want it. It's because if he thought he'd beat me comfortably, he'd take the fight.
So what kind of fight? I mean, we spoke about Ammunition with the European. I've read some of the European title you'll fight for on July 31st. Is that any truth in that?
No, there isn't. I love that fight makes my mouth water.
The Ammunition one, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be an hard night's work. But that'd put you right up there.
I think that's a fan-friendly fight. I think that's going to make the mouths water on nearly every single fan that watches boxing, to be honest with you.
Well, people see a bit of vulnerability in well, I've now changing my style, but back then there was a lot of vulnerability. So people love the vulnerability, but yeah, that fight makes my mouth water. So I don't know if he's vacating and going fighting for world titles, world title eliminators. You know, the European ain't the be all and end all for me. Do you know what I mean? The British title, when we tried to make the fight with Jenkins, that was down to him and his team, nothing to do with me. All we kept hearing was dates that Eddie Hearn was throwing at them. We never heard no dates from Warren. No dates, not once. All we kept was firing dates, firing money, throwing money at them. And I wasted 7 months waiting for them. I ain't gonna do that. My career's on some good trajectory here. I don't need you, and I don't need you. I'll do it on my own. Do you know what I mean?
Well, definitely. Well, you're here in Las Vegas. I seen you were at the gym with Devin Haney. I mean, he looks in great shape. Your thoughts on, you mentioned the Linares fight. It's a great fight for Devin Haney as he's coming through. Linares is still dangerous. I mean, a multi-weight world champion. But it's the right fight, the right time for Devin Haney, isn't it?
That's the question though, is it? So it's a matter of, we'll find out. Is it too soon for Haney? Is Linares past it? I don't think Linares is in his prime, but then neither is Pacquiao. It all depends on how he's lived outside of the ring. Do you know what I mean? But Linares, he looks in unbelievable shape. He always brings the heat. Obviously, the fights with Loma, the fights with Campbell, the fights with Mitchell, the fights with, who else did he fight? He fought another name.
Loma, Mitchell,
Campbell.
Yeah. That names will stick to mind, yeah.
Yeah. So, is there miles on the clock, or is there a lot more experience gained? So, I think Haney will be the younger, fresher fighter, but I don't think if Linares wins, it's an upset. I won't be shocked.
I think he's 7-1, Linares.
Mad. I'm not gambling.
Yeah.
I don't. No. What's that mean?
It means like if you put $100 on, you get 700 back plus your money for Linares. So if you put like $100 on,
Haney?
hey, I don't know what Haney. I didn't see them odds.
So,
I seen you on the blackjack yesterday, figuring out what to do there.
I lost it all, by the way. I lost it all. I put down 100. I withdrew $100. I got up to about 800. When you come over,
Vegas pulls you in, baby. Vegas pulls you in.
When you come over, I was up about $800, and then off 100, and then as soon as you come over to the table.
Bad luck, Andrew. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Joe, as soon as you left the table, just start getting shit hands.
That's right. I'll teach you how to play craps, Ben. It's Conor. It's a fucking great game, man. But Conor, you mentioned Pacquiao and all that sort of stuff, but he's fighting Errol Spence now. I mean, Pacquiao is a legend of the sport. Testament to the type of fighting man that Pacquiao is, fighting somebody like Errol Spence at this stage of his career. I mean, your thoughts on that fight itself?
Well, do you see exactly my point? He has a pair on him. That's what I'm saying. So it baffles me when, whatever.
I can feel your frustration on that.
Because it's silly. He honestly just contradicts himself. So it's just like, all right, mate, do what you got to do.
Your thoughts on Pacquiao, Spence?
Trying to get me back to focus.
I seen you getting pissed off at that, so I thought, bring him back.
Pacquiao, Errol Spence. Testament to Pacquiao, he does live the life, you can see that. So when he's saying, he's had a long layoff and he's probably done it better, he really probably has. Because he ain't been out on the booze, he ain't been piling on the weight, you can see ain't about that. So I think, and many people are going to say different and be like, what are you talking about? Bro, I could be well wrong here. But I think Pacquiao could beat Spence. And I know the boxing people are going to go, yeah, but Spence is massive for the weight. He's young, he's fresh, I don't know. I just have a feeling Pacquiao can do it. But then, Spence, obviously, you see him boozed up at events. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you like a drink, you like a drink. If you like this, you like it's down to the individual. But when you're turning up at events and you can't even talk, it's what you're doing when you're not at events. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and then you think, okay, well, we'll see, innit? When Errol Spence fought, I like Errol, by the way, so I'm not like going all, it's just my opinion. Do you know what I mean? So I think Pacquiao can do it. But when I watched Spence Kell Brook, I was there for that fight ringside. I thought Kell Brook was winning that fight. And I know it don't matter because he was winning, but He was winning, so I don't think Errol Spence is unbeatable or unstoppable. I think Pacquiao has the tools to do that.
Okay, quick thoughts on Josh Taylor's achievements last weekend out here in Vegas.
Josh Taylor's the Don, mate, and it's like he's the Don. Why is he not getting? Like, don't get me wrong, there's loads of praise. Everyone knows what he's achieved, but he should be like mega, because it's not like he's just a good fighter that, you know, what he brings, what he presents, who he is, how, you know, what he's articulate, he can talk, he can, you know, he's not a bad looking guy. So it's like, well, why is he not on Superstardom? Why is he not?
I'll probably have my
yeah, like he should be, because what he's done in the sport, any fighter can only dream of doing. So, and again, it's frustrating because I know Josh. I speak to Josh. I'm a fan. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like he should be like, you know, the best thing since sliced bread, which I know he is.
He will be in Scotland anyway. I know that for sure.
Yeah, but he's global. Yeah, it shouldn't just be in Scotland. He's global. He's conquered the division. He's number one.
Might be moving up to your division soon.
I might have to retire.
Nah, that'll be a good. Listen, if that ever happens, that'd be a great fight. Final one before we go. The heavyweight undisputed championship. We spoke about Josh unifying the division. It's almost heartbreaking that we can't see the heavyweights do it in Joshua versus Fury, but we're going to get Wilder Fury, and it looks like we might get Joshua Usyk. Your thoughts on that whole situation there?
It's odd. It's very odd. But then boxing's never straightforward. But it's a bit odd as well as to how the Wilder contracts got signed so quick. That's odd. Like, I kept trying to think about how that turnout's happened. Like, how's the contract's been signed so quick? Because contracts for fights that big take months. I can't put my finger on it. It's odd. It's very odd. I think, and I don't think it's from AJ or Eddie's part. But then again, I could be wrong.
It's hard looking from the outside and then trying to figure out the whole situation, isn't it?
Yeah, because Eddie may go, no, we were on. And then you just don't know this. And I doubt there's been any crosswires. Whatever it is, it's been deliberate from whoever's end. But I don't know why Wilder would let them get so far as to almost say it's done, to then go, boom. There's a motive somewhere.
Have I missed anything, Conor? Is there anything you'd like to add? Have I missed anything?
Is there anything you've missed? I'm coming for the whole 147 division. I think everyone already knows that.
Yeah. Let's end it then. That's the perfect way to end this interview. Conor, thank you so much for doing this for FL TV, and I'm going to get some breakfast now. So thanks again.
Pleasure. Thank you
very much. Thank you.